evening, everybody. Doubleheader tonight on the network. Welcome to Sports Wrap. My name is Scott Morgan, Rock Motor City Madmouth. Pleased to be joined by my hockey crew, Cody Spink, out in Southern California. Welcome back, Cody.
All right, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Glad to have you. I'm doing a really good job this summer. George Eichhorn should be rested a little bit. Had a few days
Yep,
off this week. How you feeling,
yep,
George?
sure. Good to be back, Scott and Cody.
Lots of
Yep.
hockey to get to. NHL sets attendance record. When I throw these numbers at you, they're going to wow you. In the 2024-25, the NHL totaled 24,606,811 throughout the regular season and the Stanley Cup playoffs combined. Cody, your thoughts about those numbers?
I'm just happy to see that the attendance records are going up every year and year, and I can think this year was definitely thanks to that Four Nations tournament. I think that's what really helped this hockey season get us to that record.
Oh, do you really feel the Four Nations tournament had
I
something to do with
mean, I could I have friends that never watched hockey, and after they saw those fights that Saturday night against USA and Canada, they were watching hockey after that. And it wasn't just a couple; it was like I want to say about 5 to 10 friends that
it?
started watching after that.
It's a great observation, George. Your take?
Yeah, I kind of get the drift that that has something to do with that. However, don't forget we had that exciting finals a year ago, which we repeated just a month or so ago, with Florida and Edmonton, and that's stoked up a lot of interest in hockey because it was such a great finals. Remember, guys, a year ago. So I
Yeah.
think there's a little carryover fact for that. Also, don't forget now we're in so many different cities, and obviously there's more teams than we ever had. But let's give credit to where credit is due. Gary Bettman, the attendance is also important, obviously, not only to him, but to all the teams as well. And again, you've got the classics, you got the stadium series going on. So there's a lot of great things in hockey as far as more of what I call the mass appeal. But the bottom line is you got to have exciting teams, you got to have exciting players, and I think hockey's there right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I think both you guys touched on some great points. I like the idea about the Four Nations, how it was they were able to utilize the momentum of that to carry on through
Hmm.
the season. And of course, George, you take that Four Nations and apply to what you talked about. Both, I
Yeah.
agree with you both points around. No need to talk about it. Hockey's certainly a sport which is gaining traction, and I think a lot of people are better off watching it in person than they are on TV. Not to knock the ratings, but we all know that that's one of those sports in the arena where it's a lot more exciting to watch. They do a good job on national TV if you can't get there, but it is what it is. But something a little different this time. Joe Pavelski wins the American Century Celebrity Golf Tournament with a walk-off eagle and defeated Baseball Hall of Famer John Smoltz, former soccer player Taylor Twellman, country singer Jake Owen, and also when you think about it, Golden State Warriors star Stephen Curry was in fifth place, Aaron Rodgers 15th place, Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, we all know Rodgers, Pittsburgh Steelers. Basketball Hall of Famer Charles Barkley is there at 69th. And bear in mind, Pavelski retired from the NHL after 18 seasons. He has 1,068 career points, 476 goals, 592 assists, 1322 regular season games played for the Stars and Dallas Stars and the San Jose Sharks. And this tournament is held in Lake Tahoe, and that's unbelievable. I actually, another lifetime ago, I got married there. But regardless of that, before I had gotten married there, I always loved to go to Lake Tahoe. And after I'm done with my international travel, I intend to take my wife Candy there. I think it's one of the greatest places in the United States, Lake Tahoe. But what are your thoughts, Cody, about Joe Pavelski winning this tournament that a lot of people like to participate in outside of sports? Uh,
No, I think this is a great thing for, like I said, for hockey. They hear that some an American hockey player, because most hockey players are all big golfers. So, but I mean, Joe Pavelski, because I know that I think the most famous celebrity or athlete that's not a golfer is Steph Curry. That
right.
is a big time, and he beat him. So I think this is great for golf. I'm not a big golfer. I have such a horrible golf swing. It's ridiculous. I have a baseball swing. That's it. So I say, but I wish I can learn it, but I don't have the patience to learn golf.
Well, the one thing you have here is a hockey player using a hockey stick and another stick called a golf club. So it's not like you don't know how to swing; it's just a different instrument.
Yeah.
All right, George, take it from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the action, and you know what? This is an annual event that TV has, and obviously it's good strategy. They put it on the weekend that the pros, the PGA Tour is in Europe, first for the Scottish Open and this week for the British Open. But the point is Pavelski making that eagle. He jumped into the arms of his caddy. He was so damn excited. And I'll tell you what, hockey players traditionally, like you said, Cody, they've loved to play golf. They really have. I remember when the Red Wings and the, Yzerman and the guys would talk about going, and that's another story. We won't even go down that road with an event that happened when they went golfing. But the fact of the matter is hockey players are really into golf. They pack their clubs. In fact, the old joke is, remember Scott and Cody? Oh, well, they just got eliminated from the playoffs, such and such. So they got their golf clubs packed. Now they're going to be golfing tomorrow morning or tea time or something. A lot of sportscasters make a joke about that. But the fact is that it's a great tournament, Scott and Cody. That is a really great area, like you've told me, Scott, for many times, the Tahoe area, Lake Tahoe area. And they have a lot of fun. The celebrities. And you're right. Steph Curry's a great player. I mean, he beat some really good guys that know how to golf that are not on the PGA Tour.
Well, keep in mind, Tony Romo's a pretty good golfer. Rest assured, he played in that tournament as well. So it really is. And Lake Tahoe is heaven on earth, is all I can say.
I've never been.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I've been there a few times. I'm going to go back there with Candy.
It's not, at least it's not that far from me.
Well, no, that's true. You can get there probably by driving. What kind of a drive is it?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how far of a drive that is, but we have driven to Vegas, so pretty sure that's just as far.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's okay. Well, okay, if you ever get a chance, Cody, get out there. It's a cool place.
Oh, so. I'll definitely check it out. My wife would love that.
I know my wife will love it too. But like she says, she knows now that I've gone on some international trips, I'm hooked. All right, well, I'm also hooked on going into the next topic as well. The San Jose Sharks signed veteran forward Jeff Skinner to a one-year deal worth $3 million. He had 16 goals, 13 assists in 72 games for Edmonton. He had 2 points in the playoffs games. Skinner is 33. He's a two-time All-Star, amassed 699 career points, 373 goals, 326 assists over 1,078 contests with the Carolina Hurricanes, Buffalo Sabres, and the Oilers. What are your thoughts, Mr. Spink, about Jeff Skinner leaving Edmonton?
Well, I guess he didn't want to play any more playoff games after last season, seems like. But he only played 5 playoff games with the Oilers last year, but I mean, honestly, this actually might be the best move for him. Go there, play on the top line with Will Smith and Celebrini, score some goals, and then the Sharks do have a retention spot, and they can easily trade him. And I'm pretty sure any playoff contending team would love to have an extra middle six winger that can put the puck in the net at any time. So hopefully then he can actually get some playing time in the playoffs.
George?
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said. I mean, he wasn't a big factor, like you said, in the playoffs, but he still has a lot of good hockey left in him. And what do they say? Reviving his old magic and that as a player. I'm sure they're going to just try to see what can come of this. I mean, this happens often when you get, 1-year contracts you dish out, and we see that all the time in hockey, especially, and all of sports too. But he's a guy like you guys were talking. I mean, he's been with a winning team, and now he's going to a very difficult, tougher situation, if you will, with San Jose. But the fact of the matter is like I said, he's got some hockey. He's 33, and what, a $3 million deal? Hell, I'd take that. I mean, the Red Wings just had Jeff Petrie that left the team. He, another guy that went for 1 year. But I mean, these guys have that available to them, and the teams just kind of, gravitate towards that depending on what their needs are.
Yeah, the bottom line is they have a little mini Edmonton Oiler exodus. Some of the players are leaving, but they're keeping a lot of their core players. We're going to go to one more topic, then we'll hit a station break. Folks, this will probably not be a very long show. We're just trying to keep everything going with some of the major hockey updates that we have going on. We will have Fire Up at the top of the hour, which Candy Abilene will be on there with Taylor Phillips, and she'll also be on there with, I believe, Samir. He's scheduled to be on. Candy, I think they're both confirmed, right? I believe. Well,
Yes,
both of those.
they're both. I haven't heard back from Taylor, but yes, Samir will be on with me at least.
Yeah,
Yes.
Taylor will be on. I'm sure he will. So, all right, one more topic to get to before we hit a station break. Connor Hellebuyck becomes the fourth goalie in expansion era to win the MVP. He is in good company with Montreal's Corey Price, who did it in 2014 and 15. Jose Theodore, 2001 and 2 with Montreal as well. Both of them for the Canadiens. And Dominik Hasek, who played his career in Buffalo and Detroit. He did it 96, 97, and 97, 98. All right, some thoughts about Connor Hellebuyck. Been a good year for him, Mr. Cody, that he's racked in a lot of awards.
No, this was at his second straight back-to-back Vezina, I believe, or was it three in a row?
Oh, this one's an MVP. It looks like.
No, but he also won the Vezina as well.
Oh, did he? Oh, then he's definitely having a good year from the hardware store for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, he was definitely the best for sure, the best goalie in the whole league this year for sure. Playoffs is a whole nother story.
Right.
But no, I don't know if I would have given him the heart this year. I thought it could have been two other people in my opinion, but I don't disagree with him winning the heart. I mean, he played the most games. He had the best stats for out of all the goalies, and it's not an easy position to do either. So,
yeah. George?
Yeah, we're very proud of him, of course. He lives in Michigan, and Scott knows that our friends live in Commerce Township. Well, that's Jim Brandstetter and Robbie Timmons.
Right.
But Connor it really had a fantastic year, like you guys said. I mean, he was first in shutouts with 8, and then the second in the save percentage, 925, I'm sorry, and goals against 2.01. He was first. And of course, 47 wins and 12 losses. I mean, Cody, you can't deny him that. I mean, I know you said there's other people on your short list. As there should be. Very rarely is the MVP a runaway. And it's very, very odd to see a goaltender win it, like you were saying, Scott.
Right.
Dominik Hasek, we've had some really great ones, but it is so difficult because they have their award, like you said, the Vezina. But this guy dominated. But the bottom line is that they still couldn't win the cup, unfortunately for them. So is he totally happy? Hell no. He doesn't have Lloyd Stanley's cup to suck some suds out of, beer on the lake there in Commerce, Michigan. But I'll tell you what, he's a gamer. He's really a great guy. And from all I've heard, about him, he loves the state of Michigan too. But yeah, he deserves it. But you're right, Vezina and MVP. Wow, that's rare company.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say one thing about why did Paul Maurice left Winnipeg in the first place? Because he felt he had done everything they could do there, and he's really satisfied with being retired. But when the Panthers came and asked him to come out, they were committed to going out there and, to me, providing him with a winning team. Then there's no doubt that Maurice is going to come out of retirement.
Oh yeah,
taking the Panthers to 3 straight finals, let alone winning 2. So, but Winnipeg's proven that they can win in the regular season, but they haven't been able to turn that success over in the postseason. And Cyberowski, I'm having a nice juicy ribeye for dinner. Good stuff. I just got done eating dinner, but at least he's out there divulging his dinner tonight. Where's your buddy Joshua Gore? We're about ready to get to the Panthers topics in a minute anyway, but before we do that, we'll go to a station break and let Candy Evelyn go ahead and give us one, please. Thank you.
South Florida Tribune Publishing Company published a book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It is written by our host, Scott the Motor City Madmouth Morganroth. And the foreword is written by another panelist, Mr. George Eichhorn. Great book, guys. You did an awesome job. It talks about Scott's 40 plus years in the media business and how it has evolved and changed. Old school media meets new school media. Get your copy today. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books. There's also a link on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com. where there is a plethora of great content, so go check it out. If you see the red subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, click it, like us, share us, and turn on your notifications so you get notified every time we put up a new video, whether it's live or a pre-record. We will start to be putting up videos from our vacation, our European vacation, going to Iceland and Norway this weekend. So get the notifications so you can see those when they go up. If you like to listen to podcasts, you can find us wherever you get your podcast. If you want to be an advertiser or sponsor this show or any shows, please give Scott a call, 954-304-4941. If you want to be a guest or have topic ideas, you can always email us at southfloridatribune@gmail.com. Back to you, Scott.
All right. Thank you, Candy. And thank you, Cyruski. This show is definitely not going to be a marathon, but we have some good timely information in here, and we'll be bringing it back next Thursday night. We're going to continue the hockey thing at least through the month of July, and probably once in August, George Eichhorn is working on some projects for that spot on Sports Wrap as well. Let's continue. The most goals in a single postseason. One team belongs to the Edmonton Oilers of 98, and that occurred in 1985. The New York Islanders in 97 and 1981, the Pittsburgh Penguins in 95 and 1991, the New York Islanders in 1983, the Florida Panthers in 2025, and the Oilers again in 1984 have 94 goals. And then to wrap it up, you'll have the Oilers in 1990 with 93 and the LA Kings in 1993. There you have it for those goals. Do you think anybody, Cody, will break the Edmonton Oilers record? I know the Panthers have 94, but you're talking about Wayne Gretzky that was a part of what took place there.
That's a good question. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to beat that because you also had the great one playing on that team. But I think if anyone's going to do it nowadays, it's probably going to be the current Edmonton Oilers. You know, because with Draisaitl and McDavid on the team,
right?
It's endless possibilities there. Even though they only had one goal each, I want to say in the final,
right?
So, but you know, you never know with those two. When they get, maybe if they run into someone other than the Florida Panthers in the final, maybe they can score a lot more.
Right.
But I don't see that happening anytime. But it's a whole different game now than it was back then.
True. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can only imagine any of these records if they were ever be set during the original 6, let alone 12 teams. Considering it's ballooned to at least 30 and probably a couple more on the way. George, some thoughts about that record, at least standing the test of time. The Panthers look good though, getting to 94, but again, they needed 5 to break it.
Yeah, it is a rather prestigious record, no question about it. You know, and I think when I did a little research, I looked up the players themselves, and I think Reggie Leach of those Flyers teams had 19 goals in one postseason. That's again the whole postseason. But you're right, Edmonton. I mean, gosh, with Gretzky and Curry and Messier, I mean, they had some great teams back then. But look at this Florida team is loaded. They've got great scoring and a good balance. And when you talk about some of these guys, though, but you know, Joe Sakic's another one, obviously in the top 5 as far as a single postseason. Right. And you know what? It's fun looking at those stats. I'm glad you researched that again, as you always do, Scott, because and it brings up great memories for all of us because we followed hockey a number of years. Cody, you're a bit younger, obviously, than Scott and myself. But, you know, we've seen some great hockey where we followed Detroit and now Scott, of course, being right there in the hotbed in Florida for the last several years. Scott, you were at Tampa Bay and now at Greater Miami. But I'm telling you, this is really good stuff. It's good to talk about some of these things because basically we never hear about this stuff. You know, you hear, then you forget about it. But no, that is a tough record. That's a tough nut to crack. But if anybody's going to take a crack at it again, it'll be the Panthers.
Oh, but you're talking about a record that was set in 1985.
Yeah.
What are we talking? 30 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah. On that, it still held up. And you've had a lot of high schools.
40 years.
40 years, yeah, 40 years. I don't know. It's just late in the day. Who
No
remembers
problem.
the years? I'm only off by 10. The real math man is up in heaven. My father-in-law, Fred Ebling, rest in peace, Pops. I love you. No. But anyway, 40 years is a long time. It's still held up. And that's in a much more finesse European-style NHL game. And that record is still held up when there was a lot more physicality back then.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, Florida sits in there with 94. The Anaheim Ducks have signed goaltender Lucas Dostal to a 5-year, $32.5 million contract. What are your thoughts on the move, Cody?
Oh, I love it. I was waiting for this extension for a long time, and I'm glad Verbeek got it done. You know, because last time we had a big RFA, we needed to be signed. They didn't get signed till like the middle of training camp. So to get this done well before then, I love the contract. Dostal is going to be the number one for a while in Anaheim. So now that Gibson's out, Dostal's the number one at $6.5 million in 5 years. That's going to be nothing if the cap keeps going up the way it is. So I love this move 100%.
Well, I think Pat Verbeek's going to do a great job there anyways. And of course, he comes from Steve Yzerman. George, your thoughts on the move?
Yeah, I think it's a good deal too. I mean, you want to lock this guy up. You know, he's only 25 years old, 6'2", 190. It's interesting. Your backups there are two former Red Wings, Mrazek and Husso.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you're not going to.
Oh, that's right, Billy. And that's right, Billy Husso. Is he still there?
Yeah, he signed 2 years, I believe, $2 million each year.
Yeah, and you got Mrazek in that trade for Gibson, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Joel Quenneville. We all talked about this before. I know it's not the subject, but you got a coach there that really knows how to win. So I'm expecting big things out of the Ducks. And yeah, you got to lock this guy up, and they did exactly that. And Verbeek, yeah, you're right, Scott. He came from the pedigree of Steve Yzerman, of course. And Verbeek's done a nice job, and I'm continuing to think that he is going to continue, you know, as a good guy in the front office there as well. But they got a great coach now in Quenneville too.
Yeah, I'm excited for Quenneville.
Yeah, it's interesting how we say that because now you got Husso and Mrazek together, although I don't think they were teammates in Detroit, but you have two former Red Wings as backups to this guy. And now we have Southern California goaltenders in Detroit. It's just amazing how some of the dominoes drop with all these ironies is really what they do.
Yeah. All right, for sure.
Well, our final topic of the night, and it is our final topic of the night, centers around Bill Zito. And that's this guy is a trade wizard. He trades for Sam Bennett, Sam Reinhart, Matthew Tkachuk, Seth Jones, Brad Marchand. Traded out Emil Heidemann, Devon Levy, Mackenzie Weegar, Jonathan Huberdeau, and Spencer Knight, along with 4 first-round picks and 1 second-round pick. Trade wizard, I guess, is a good way to call him, and he's certainly done a masterful job picking up players that he needs to win the Stanley Cup. Cody, your thoughts?
How does he not have a General Manager of the Year award with these moves? How? And then if he doesn't win it next year, especially after getting Marchand, Bennett, and Ekblad all re-signed, I'd be shocked. If I could put money on it, I would put money on him winning the GM of the year. He knows how to make the moves. Because everyone says, oh, everyone wants to go to Florida. I'm like, just because everyone wants to go there doesn't mean it's the right move for everyone to go there. And he's finding the right people to go there, and he's making great moves. Like, honestly, when that Tkachuk trade happened, I thought the Florida Panthers lost that trade. In all my honest, I really thought that. I was like, you're telling me Calgary got Huberdeau, Weegar, and a first-round pick and more? Right. I'm like, Calgary won that trade, and then I look stupid saying that now.
Don't feel too bad. I thought they won that trade too, but Tkachuk turned out to be a heck of a player, and Huberdeau has not performed up to the expectations that Calgary went out there and had for him. So you're right. That makes two of us that don't look very good, unless Eichhorn wants to think he's the one that knew that was better. And then we got two clowns and him. But go ahead, George. What's your take? I mean, the only thing I'll say about Bill Zito, this is the fact that he will be headed to Toronto.
He will be. He will be some year in the Hall of Fame. I mean, we know
Yeah,
that.
you sick the man. Really? Seriously? Really? No, I'm kidding with you. That was right. That was a good
Okay.
one, Icorn.
Okay.
I couldn't put
But
that one past you. Well, that was good. He was thinking.
I know because we both been to the Hockey Hall of Fame. But listen,
Yeah, but I
this
went to the
guy,
old my
right?
exhibition place. So
Yep,
go ahead.
yep, and me too. That was the last time. And Cody, you know what? Some of those are just, I hate to say it, like beauty contests. We shake our head and say, wait a minute, such and such has not got the, manager of the year award or the GM of the year award. So he cares probably less about that than maybe we think. But you look at this roster, come on. You just go off the names and Brad Marchand from Boston, 37 years old. He's one of the older guys, and Pavelski is 36. But when you talk about, Eggblad, 29 only, and Tkachuk, 27, and you look up and down that roster, he's got a former Red Wing there, Nosek, role
big
player kind
deal.
of
Stop with
guy.
your Detroit. Wait. I'm sick and tired of all your Detroit references. But now, at some point or another, you have to turn yourself into a national commentator instead of all these homies. The one thing I'm going to say this right now, everybody, is this. The one thing I did not miss last night on the Sports Exchange was George Icorn going to all these Detroit references. I have nothing against Detroit. It's my hometown. But really, seriously, really, Icorn? I mean, there's more than one city in this country than Detroit, even though you haven't probably left there in ages anyways. But come on. Don't give me this business. It's my show, and I realize that you have to mention Detroit things because you don't know anything about any other city in the country for the most part. But get out there and realize you're national. You can be local if you want. Yeah, he's sick and tired of being embarrassed on here.
Paul
You know what?
Maurice. Can I say Paul Maurice from Windsor, Ontario?
Well, that's different. That's Windsor, Ontario. That's Detroit. That's across the bridge.
Yeah.
But your bridge from national commentator to local commentary is a whole lot further than it is from California to Florida. So you need to get with the program, sick of it. You're a national commentary once in a while. And yes, I'll give you your Detroit references once in a while. I used to have a couple of commentators on here that all they did was talk about Pittsburgh sports because they didn't know anything else, and they're out yondering in La La Land. But I'm not mentioning any names, but I think a lot of us know who the references are. And if they're listening, it's too bad, so sad. The truth hurts. Go ahead, Icorn. Give me something national, please.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah. Okay, Zito is looking all over the NHL to maintain his ironclad.
I got him choked up. He can't even think, Cody, this guy.
Cup reign as they go for a three-peat this year. Yeah, he's got good players on the roster. They come from all over the league.
Okay. Are you still tongue-tied, Icorn?
Tkachuk and Marchand are the two that I think he really stole. But anyways, good luck to them. He's got a great thing going there, and Zito does deserve the accolades. No question about it. He'll get his hardware.
He already got his hardware. He got his name on the cup twice.
Right.
Yes, but that other big one that's going to be
I'd rather have my name on the cup than my name on a GM of the Year award.
You know what, Cody, you're really right about that. I'd like to have mine on the cup one time, let alone twice. The other awards are great if you can get them, but if you talk about how many players in all the sports, not just hockey, wish they had won a championship before going to that individual award, a lot of them will tell you that for sure. We have a theme dedicated to George Icorn. It's called "Why Is Everybody Always Picking on Georgia?"
Yeah.
I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to put a little song on here about make your own kind of music that I had out in Europe when I was really relaxed. And I'm going to tell you one thing about Europe. When I was out there, I have to tell you, I didn't want to come back, but I had to because I have a company to run. But I'm going to tell you, those couple of weeks, there was that song. I don't know if it was Rita Coolidge or one of those that I was on an all-time high. Of course, I'm not going to try out for American Idol either, so don't worry about that. But that was this voice who knows what's going to happen with it after my most recent appointment over at the voice therapist. But I'll get into that another time. Don't worry, people. I'm not going anywhere. George Icorn needs somebody to give him a hard time, and I'm definitely the right guy to do it. Pretty much that. But interesting show tonight. Able to get a lot of information out in rapid fire. And speaking of rapid fire, we have Fire Up later on tonight. And Candy Evelyn, why don't you come on here for a moment and give everybody an overview of what you'll be talking about at the top of the hour.
You want to give away all my good stuff? Come on.
All of it. God, come on, give these people something to work with.
So we're gonna start breaking down because we're a little over a month away from NFL preseason and all that good stuff. So we're gonna go through the NFC South and the AFC South and do some predictions and what's changed on those teams over the course of this offseason. And then we're going to recap a little bit and talk about how we feel the All-Star game went, knowing that it kind of ended in a tie, but then went in a derby time, kind of trying to hit it off and
The swing off.
The swing off, yeah, exactly. And the National League taking it. So those are two of the topics, and of course, we always have the My Town segment. And stay tuned to find out if we're going to talk about anything else.
Great stuff, Candy. Yeah, My Town's such a good segment. I actually made it a part of the Sports Exchange. It really, really is a good segment as well. So, and the best part about Fire Up is we can't get to everything during the week about some of the shows I'm on, but Fire Up does a great job going behind us in a lot of ways to get some of those things that we're not able to get to. But we ultimately use them later on. But Candy does a good job in the country club with that group she has there. JD Wyatt is on the show 95% of the time. Once in a while, he can't get there, but he's your actual co-host. And we got Taylor Phillips to be breaking in there, and a good young writer named Samir, who's also in there. We've had a lot of other people in there, but Candy does a good job on her own show. Proud of what she does. All right, George, real quickly, let everybody know how they get a hold of you.
All right, you can find me on the South Florida Tribune website. I write for the Detroit Monitor locally. But on the Tribune site, I do sports columns for Scott and Candy. At the end of my column is a link to a book that I wrote many years back. It's called Detroit Sports Broadcasters on the Air, which chronicles, 80, 90 years of sports announcing in the Motor City. Oh, I don't want to keep dwelling on that, though. But anyways, the book is a nice read. If you're interested, there's a link at the end of my column. You can find me at gicorn@yahoo.com, on Twitter at SanGSports99. And please, look me up on Twitter. I want to increase my Twitter numbers. I got an incentive here going that I've got to get those numbers up to. So many of you people that are listening and watch these shows, look me up. Again, SanGSports99, Twitter or X. And then you can also follow me at LinkedIn and Facebook as well, George Eichhorn.
Very good, George. All right, Cody, you're next.
Yeah, you can find me at Rolly Quacked on all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, and we're on all podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, and we go live every Saturday on Twitch and YouTube at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we just released our draft recap for the Ducks and Kings draft picks. That was a lot of fun. A lot of great picks for each team. We're really excited for the future of SoCal hockey coming up, and so just don't forget to follow and subscribe to us on YouTube. We'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, Cody's done a really good job here during the summer with the hockey show. He really has done a good job. We're grateful that he's on our team, and he'll be on. Hopefully he'll be on next week. We'll have a special guest on as well. But Cody helps us out in the summer. He could certainly be on regular as often as he wants to come on during the winter, especially when Mike Santos comes back. Right now, Mike Santos is on vacation. I feel that we have to keep going as much as we can during the off season because there is news going there, and we're just trying to keep you up to date on some of the most basic stuff. There's never a shortage of material. How long the shows will be, well, even if they're shorter, it's not the worst thing in the world, but we certainly want to make sure we get you as much information as we can. Candy, one more station break, and then we'll wrap it up.
South Florida Tribune Publishing Company published a book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It is written by our host, Scott, the Motor City Mad Mouth Morganroth. And the foreword is written by another great panelist, Mr. George Eichhorn. They did a great job on this book. It's a great read. If you're looking to get into the business, or if you know anybody that wants to get into the business, go get this book. If you know people that like lots of stories, Scott can tell a good story. So go get the book. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books. There's also a link on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com, where there is a plethora of great other content. You see the red subscribe button in that lower right-hand corner. That means you have not yet subscribed to us. I honestly don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button, then you'll know when we go live and you can join us, you can make comments. You know, you could talk about George, you could talk about the Motor City Madmouth. You know, royally quacked, he'd talk to you too. So come on, join the big family. We have lots of content, great content. Monday nights we talk baseball. Tuesday nights we talk football. Wednesday and Thursday nights on Sports Exchange and Fire Up, you never know what you're going to get. Here on Sports Wrap, you get lots of hockey. So then Scott also has a Motor City Madmouth show, which is a one-on-one interview show. Go check it out. He's talked to numerous people. The most recent was former manager Mickey Callaway. So go check that out as well. If you like to listen to podcasts, you'll find us wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Audible, Castbox, Apple, Google, you name it, Spotify, Deezer, all the ones. Go check it out. If you want to advertise, and it's a great price, so, you know, please do so. Or if you want to sponsor a show, call Scott, 954-304-4941. If you want to be a guest or have topic ideas, you can always email us at southfloridatribune@gmail.com. Back to you, Scott.
Well done, Candy. You did a really good job with that intro. Fire Up will be at the top of the hour. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on Sports Wrap tonight. So on behalf of George Eichhorn, Cody Spink, what's cool about this group here is I'm in Southern Florida, George is in Metro Detroit, and of course Cody's on the West Coast, so we have you pretty much covered around the country as well. That's what makes this, and we'll be adding more and more people as time goes on. But once again, on behalf of George Eichhorn, Cody Spink, our producer, Candy Embley, my name is Scott Morgan of Motor City Madmouth. Thank you for joining us in this edition of Sports Wrap. We will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. God bless, be safe, and enjoy family. Bye now.